What's up, guys? This is Adam the Bees and Knees, and today we have a special video. It's kind of like a quick little draft recap and a week one battle of a new league, the NPL Minors National Pokeball League Minors. You know, I was in the tournament. I did not get in. I got the cutoff, and here I am because I was the first alternate. I guess I did well enough so they saw I was pretty good, and someone had to drop off. Parker Clover had to drop off of the league, unfortunately, for some personal reasons, but I took his place, and I hope to do a good job of representing his team. Of course, I did make 4 transactions. I'm not 100% sure if they're confirmed yet, but because I have 2 more coming in, because I'm a new guy, and he already had 2 left, I'm going to assume they are in for next week, not the week that I'm going to show you in the battle, if that makes sense. So, like, the battle I'll show you, I'll have the original mons, and I'll go over what they were. But I have the new mons on the layout. But up first is Jirachi. I did not draft the team. It was handed to me, so no order for my reasoning, at least. So, Jirachi, great mon. Have it in the NPL. The other one, gosh, that's a little confusing, you know. And it's also Z eligible, and like the UBC, the Z moves are, you can only use offensive moves, so no, like Z Celebrate, unfortunately, you know. Gotta ruin everything. Paired with the Steel type, we have Clefable, which is really nice. I've used this in last season of the other NPL. I know how to use them on. Great abilities. One of the best fairies in the format. I almost, like, it kind of is weird, because Clefable is viewed as a better mon than Togekiss, but I really kind of wanted Togekiss in this, but it was taken. When I did free agencies, there was like 12 available Pokemon that were not Carny tier, which is pretty much their tier 4 and 5-ish. Up next, we have Mamoswine, Z eligible here. Great mon, Man Bear Pig is here. I use this in the PMCD League. Good rock setter. Actually, ironically, all 3 of my first picks are Stealth Rocks. Nothing else is, but the first 3 all consist of Stealth Rocks. 2 of them can Wish, so got parts of the pieces there. Priority. Spam Earthquake is super nice. Wish Man was on this a little faster, but you know. Up next, we have Raikou. Very excited to use Raikou. Never used it before. I've always wanted to, but I've always wanted to use other Electro types. But Raikou's super cool, super fast Pokemon. 115 speed, nice 115 special attack. Just gonna spam Volt Switch, pivot into my other hard-hitting mons. Great synergy with Jirachi's Volturn. Up next is Tentacruel. Now this guy is going to be pretty much my dedicated hazard removal. I do have another one, 2 more kinda, but Liquid Ooze, you know, Scald Pokemon knockoff, another knockoff user, my 3rd one too. Toxic Spikes, which is very cool indeed. Tentacruel is going to be almost a glue on the team. I'll probably bring it a few times. And it's actually going to synergize with a little core I went with. It's different to my style, I'll tell you that much, but I'll go on to it when I discuss that. Up next, we have Dragonite. Ironically, I really was going to draft a Dragonite in whatever next league I was in. That, or I was going to do a different strategy, both of which I have now. But Z eligible, and it's really great on Dragonite with Hurricane, with Fly, with Thunder, with I'm not sure it gets Focus Fast, but super great mon. Stealth Rock weakness. It's annoying, but with multi-scale, but it's a great sweeper and E-speed. Always nice. And honestly, this is a very strong Fairy Dragon Season 4. So there is always that. And so up next, oh well, you can see my whole team. Shoot. Up next, we have Chandelure. Dang it. As you can see, I've drafted Rain, which is something that I did not, which is a thing I wanted, but now that I have it. Anyway, Chandelure, Spin Blocker, Ghost type, super hard hitting, special attacker, little subpar speed, I've noticed, and so this is actually going to be where all my transactions take place except for Gothitelle. So he had Mega Beedrill. Now, I'm a fan of Mega Beedrill, don't get me wrong. I am using it right now in the NPL. It has my most kills, I believe. Now, the only problem with the team he had, and it's not that big of a problem, he drafted mons that theoretically were perfect together. He had like Shiftry and stuff, But I saw the weakness was I was 2 Earthquake weak and 2 Rock weak, so Edgequake really ripped the team in half. And I, especially going up against the Lando team in the future, wasn't too thrilled about that. So I decided to pick up Mega Absol because originally Shiftry was on the team, and I don't like Shiftry. I'm sorry, David, I do not like Shiftry, but I picked up Mega Absol here. Never used this Pokemon, but it brings up my speed tier, which, yes, Beedrill had, but very strong Pokemon indeed. So much moveset with Mega Absol. I'm very excited to use it, and Magic Bounce is always cool. We got my boy Ariba here. Ariba, the Ludicolo. I needed a Grass type with Shiftry, and this replaced Shiftry. This replaced Mega Beedrill. Yes. So anyway, super strong Pokemon with the Rain Swift Swim ability. As you can see, Pelipper's there. So Swift Swim here, Rain Dish here, Hurricane Spam here, Thunder Spam here. It's a pseudo rain team, and it's very nice with it. Ludicolo Watergrass, I think the only type like that, can hit honestly pretty dang hard, even with 90 special attack. So nice to have on the team. Gothitelle, a fun Pokemon indeed. This was on the original team, and I close to dropping it, but I was like, let's have some fun, right? Shadow Tag and Rain, that's a little nasty. So we got Mr. Woman here. Goth, pretty self-explanatory. The one thing about the team that now that I've redrafted is type synergy is a little weird on certain types, but I actually have a lot of dual type Pokemon anyway. So we got Nigel, Pelipper, Rain Setter, and Ground Immunity. This was Hawlucha, which I wanted to use Hawlucha, but yeah, it literally was my only ground switch in. So besides Shiftry, so I have Pelipper here. Gonna set up the Rain, but my team's not Rain team, so that makes it really nice. It's not dependent on Rain. I only have like really one Mon that really needs the Rain, and that's Ludicolo. So, and then finally, this Pokemon was Licky Licky, another Mon I kind of wanted to use, but I do have 2 Wish supporters, so it was unneeded, and I have Socks. So just real quick, yeah. So it gets a knockoff, so everything Licky Licky could do, but super strong physical attacker and sturdy Mold Breaker are fantastic abilities. So that's gonna be the quick team recap, and I'll get on right to the battle. So yeah, so as you can see, some of the things I was really considering, I was so determined I was going to get a Alolan version, was on the big board, but someone already drafted it and wasn't crossed off, so that was triggering. But anyway, I'm facing Fog, Keegan, who's a pretty good battler. I don't really know a lot of the people. I know a few, but he has got Mega Pinsir, Spookymon, Stealth Arc Weak, and Quick Attack Spam. Kartana, Spookymon, terrified of Timid SD, just letting that slide. Infernape, if he's going to bring Z-Move Kartana, he's going to bring Scarf Infernape in my opinion. I don't think he'll do the other way around, but I don't know. Caress, Calm Mind, Setup, stupid. Kyurem, Spadef, I really think he's going to bring that because it shuts down Tentacruel, it shuts down Chandelure, it kind of shuts down Gothitelle, beats Shiftry, and actually beats the Raikou, which he actually has no ground type. So he's going to have his ground switch-ins be Kyurem and Chansey. Doublade, honestly, Doublade is the biggest threat in the team. Beats Jirachi, beats Clef, beats Mamo, beats kind of beats Raikou. It can hurt Raikou and Tentacruel. Can't really beat those two, but and Dragonite as well. But beats Chandelure, beats Mega Beedrill. Doesn't beat Shiftry, but I'm not bringing Shiftry. Beats Gothitelle, beats Hawlucha, and beats Licky Licky. So yeah, it's a huge threat. It really was discouraging for me to bring Goth, which really sucks because he has Chansey and Cress and Rotom and Klefki and Amoonguss, but and Armaldo, which is actually kind of a threat. Stealth Rock, but like the combination of Earthquake, X's, and Stone Edge really hurts my team. So and then Chansey, Bat. I don't expect him to bring Chansey because I have a Gothitelle on my team. So because he can't run Shed Shield because he has to run Eviolite, unless he doesn't. But Rotom Wash. He liked to run an offensive Rotom, I think, in a previous game, so that actually can hurt my team a little bit. But Rotom Wash is annoying to deal with. Klefki, probably won't bring Klefki. It beats Dragonite and Jirachi, so he might bring Magnet Rise if he does anything. And then Amoonguss, Thickmon, his whole team's thick, and he's got Pinsir and Cortana and Infernape. So he's got offense and then that. So fun. Alright, so shoutouts to Vertigo, shoutouts to CJ, shoutouts to Aster, shoutouts to Greg. A lot of thought has gone into this team because I want to start off nice with a win, right? So up first we have Calm Mind, sub Jirachi. This actually can beat Cresselia, Chansey. It can hurt Doublade. I know Shadow Sneak will pop the sub, but it beats a Mungus. Did I say Klefki? Because it beats Klefki. Deals with Pinsir. I mean, yeah, it does deal with Pinsir. Deals with the Rotom. Deals with the Kyurem. Loses to Infernape and doesn't like Doublade that much, but I have Shadow Ball. So, and then Psyshock is there in case he runs Calm Mind Crest. I'll have Shadow Ball, but if I can Calm Mind up faster, Shadow Ball. If I don't, Psyshock, I hit it a little harder, but mainly for Chansey. And I can sub up on a lot of things. Enough speed to actually outspeed Kyurem, so I can Calm Mind and then sub and then start. Well, he might break my sub with Oath Power, but if I Calm Mind enough, I'm set. Up next we have Raikou. He has no electric switch-ins, like I said. He's got a Mungus and he's got Chansey. And with those two being dealt with, which my team kind of deals with, a little Chansey's a little nerve-wracking, but Raikou bops his entire team. It outspeeds his entire team. Unless he brings Scarf Infernape or Scarf Cortana, nothing will outspeed me, and I can Volt Switch on any Pokemon on his draft. So that is going to be pretty much my game plan there. It was originally AV for an offensive Rotom, but I was talked out of it, and it makes sense, you know. Mamoswine here, Focus Sash, Stealth Rocker, Superpower. Had Toxic, which I don't know how I feel because Toxic helps me deal with the Rotom and the Crest, where I sure hits the Pinsir, whereas Quick Attack probably won't kill me unless he's like set up, which he really can't do that much unless he's on Mamo. Stealth Dogs are pretty important because he's got Kyurem and Pinsir. Earthquake hits literally a lot of his team super hard, and Superpower is really there for the Kyurem because my team can't touch Kyurem all that much. Without Scarf Jirachi or Physical Jirachi, not really, because if he brings Spadef, he deals with Jirachi, Raikou, and Chandelure and Tentacruel, and I have to beat him with Dragonite. If he brings Scarf Kyurem, he beats Dragonite. So Kyurem's a little bit of a threat, close to bringing Hawlucha, but Doublade is Doublade. So Choice Scarf, Chandelure, this outspeeds anything that's not Cortana and Infernape Scarf, basically. Can bop a lot on his team. I could definitely take a Shadow Ball, a Shadow Sneak, and kill it. Really want to try to trick Chansey or Crest, to be honest, because I know those are going to. Well, Chansey at least is going to be his initial switch in. Maybe the Kyurem, if he brings it. I think Tentacruel here is going to be my big win con, maybe, because I have the Sugar Berry and Ground really hurts everything because I don't want to switch Dragonite in until the end game. So, but Scald, Rapid Spin, Knockoff, and HP Fire hits about everything I can hit. Yeah. And then finally we have a Fiery MZ, the God set. My proud set that I made is Fire Blast, Okos, unless it's like Max Spadef, Doublade, even like a lot of Spadef but not Max, I can pretty much Oko it. And I think Max is even a roll. And then Dragon Dance, probably won't set up, but E-Speed is super nice for Pinsir, and then Dragon Claw because he's got no Fairy type on his team besides Klefki, which popped by Fire Blast. So that is the team. And let's get right into the battle. Alright, so in my box no one brought Pinsir, no one brought Klefki, and no one brought a Mungus, so a little spooked there. He actually brought way more fat than I expected. Definitely expected Cortana to come, because if it was Timid SD, it put in quite an amount of work. Couldn't let anything get stacked to it. I'm a little surprised he brought Chansey when I Goth. I fear Chansey, and he expected Goth as well. So I guess he was glad about that. So I'm going to lead off with, I believe, Raikou, because he's got no electric switch. No. Yeah. Yes, I lead off with Raikou, and he has a Mungus. So I don't want to get spored. But looking at the team and going back, I was like, you know, I was between maybe Chandelure and the Tentacruel, because I was like, I don't know what does less. I was gonna go into Tentacruel because Tentacruel really doesn't beat a whole lot besides the Infernape and It can kind of hit the Klefki with a Scald Burn, but that's about it. And knock off some stuff, but don't really need it to be awake if he goes for support. But I'm going to click Volt Switch, and it turns out he's Assault Vest, which is nice to know. So I have a nice switch in to my Chandelure because he can't Spore me. And he gets the Sludge Bomb Poison, which sucks. But from here, I'm not going to be messed with. I know he's going into Chansey, so I click Trick like there's no tomorrow, and I trick that bitch Choice Scarf. Woo! It feels real nice. He's going to throw up a Wish, and I think I'm just going to switch out into my Mamoswine because he's not Eviolite. Fun fact, he was Shed Shell, so he was prepared for Goth. Actually, no. I get out my rocks because he's got no hazard removal, which is super nice. So I'm going to go Tentacruel. He Iron Heads, doesn't do much. Max physical defense. Now, the reason why I go out to Raikou here is because I expect him to expect me to knock off the Dublade's Eviolite, so he'll go into Chansey and get rid of the Choice Scarf. And so I'm going to go into Raikou here on that switch so I can get a free Volt Switch off, as he does go into the No Mexicans. No Mexicans allowed, apparently. So I'm going to Volt Switch out on there and go into Jirachi so I can set up on its face while he Toxics. He's locked in Toxic. I can go for a sub here, and I can just fire off a Shadow Ball. No point setting up when Shadow Sneak is going to do a chunk. And from here, it's a roll. Well, now it kills, but I did not want to weaken Jirachi because I figured Jirachi was too important. So I'm going to go hard Mamo as he goes Klefki. And okay, so here, pause. If he's Magnet Rise, it's not the end of the world because I can go out into like Tentacruel or the Raikou or the not really Chandelure, but or the Raikou or Tentacruel. And so I'm just going to test if he is Magnet Rise. I'm going to go Earthquake because I think he's Magnet Rise. He doesn't have a Ground Switch in, but he actually goes into Amoonguss. So I don't want to risk a roll. I didn't do the calcs. I didn't want to. I go Tentacruel to try to get the Giga Drain to backfire, but he doesn't bite. So I go Jirachi here to set up on this thing, and he goes Klefki, which is nice to know. As I go hard Mamoswine because I figured Klefki is going to P-Wave me, and he clicks Foul Play, so good play there. So Earthquake gets a crit, unfortunately, and I know he's going to predict the Ice Shard, so I'm going to click Earthquake again and weaken this thing. Because he's Choice Scarfed, I'm going to take him out with the Ice Shard. I don't want to get Seismic Toss or Wished. Oh, yeah, or Wished up in the air. So he goes Infernape. I think he might be Scarfed Infernape going to Tentacruel. He goes, okay, he's not. I don't know what he is, so I'm going to go hard Chandelure. He's not Scarfed. He gets me there, and he kills my Chandelure. Which sucks because, honestly, looking at his team, Fire move, when Infernape takes Round of Rocks, kills everything. So that was annoying, but just gotta believe, as Mio says. So he really doesn't have an answer to Raikou, so I'm going to click, I believe, the Thunderbolt, because I know Amoonguss is in the range of 2 Thunderbolts. And he has to sack something off here, so he goes into the Klefki, and I'm going to T-Bolt that Pokemon to smithereens. So, goodbye. He gets up his spikes, so I'm going to try to spin those off right as soon as I can. He goes Amoonguss. I know that I don't want to get the Giga Drain to heal him enough where it can't work, so he predicts that, I guess, again, because he doesn't want to get whatever. And he stays in, which was kind of a choke, because if he went to Blade, I would have knocked off or Scalded, and I would have weakened the Blade, and then I could have just came in with something like my Raikou or my Mamoswine and pressure him out, and he had to go back into Amoonguss or something. Probably I'd go Mamo. So it wasn't the worst play for him, but I feel like, you know, spikes were a little annoying, would weaken Raikou a little bit, so I definitely see why he thought it was a really bad play, and I can agree to the most part. So I'm going to T-Bolt because 2 killed the Amoonguss, not now, but before, and I'm going to go into my Jirachi because I don't want to get Giga Drained enough to where he can kill my Mamo. And from here, I'm just going to click Zen Headbutt. Unfortunately for my opponent, I think I get a crit here, yeah. I would have just stayed in and spammed Psy Shock. He does have the Earthquake, as that does not, well, that was a roll, bad roll, so I think it would have evened out if I got the better roll there. But I didn't get the crit, so I don't know. But down goes the Pinsir there, and I'm just going to sack Jirachi off. He's going to go for the Earthquake and take me down. And from here, Dragonite cleans up. Or no, I go into Raikou to Volt Switch out into Dragonite because figured he'd go into Amoonguss. Might as well just chip that thing down and go hard Dragonite here. As I think he has HP Ice, but I want to go for Dragon Claw here. to weaken this thing. I don't want him switching in, and I have the Z-Fire move because I can take Avaluggs out later. And I think he's going to switch not wanting the E-Speed to kill him, so I go for a second Dragon Claw there. It would take Avaluggs out anyway, and from here I can light up my Z-Fire Blast and blow this thing back unnecessarily. So, good game, Fog. Brought a very different team than I expected, and next week we face Rob, who's undefeated. This was week 4, so that's exciting. But yeah, so Clover, Parker, hope you're feeling better, man. I'm glad I can continue Dragonite getting some kills in this league, and yeah, don't hate my transactions. But yeah, thanks to the NPL for letting me join the other one. So I'm in both wild, right? 2-3 leagues now, huh? So yeah, this is Adam the Bee's Knees, and hopefully we pull out another win against Rob. He's a real good battler, so I don't know. We'll see. He's undefeated, so yeah, farewell.